Hey, what's up, guys? It's another Fat Man in the Hawk episode. The Hawk is out doing Hawk things right now. He can't be with us, but it's the Cheeto Boy Show. Cheeto Boy over there looks like his internet's glitching on him a wee bit. He wants to come on here and talk about his stinky New England Patriots. So outside of me just wanting to sit here and roast him about the Patriots, I'm going to kind of watch the back of the house a little bit. Lady in the chair is kind of preoccupied right now, so I'm going to watch the back of the house a little bit, watch the comments. Jordan, you go ahead and tell them why your New England Patriots are going to win the Dolphins this year. But first, guys, while I got you here, check it out. The Fat Man and Hawk t-shirts are here. They're here. You'll see the link in the comments. Thanks to Lavender's Touch for getting them out to us. I know Cheeto Boy over there has one, but he's all wrapped up in Cam Newton right now. So,
yeah,
maybe he can give me a fuck Tom Brady to get the show started right, and we'll let him ramble from there.
Yeah, fuck Tom Brady.
God, your internet's terrible, bud. What do you want to tell him?
Wait, my internet's terrible?
Yeah, you keep glitching like Sonic the Hedgehog.
Oh, that's weird. That's weird.
So anyway, tell us what you love about your Patriots.
Well, there's an article released today, this morning. Cam Newton's been working on his throwing mechanics. He said there's stuff he worked on that he didn't even know that was part of playing quarterback. He never, I don't think, was correctly taught throwing mechanics, which is weird to say from an NFL quarterback that an NFL quarterback didn't teach the fundamentals of throwing.
So I call bullshit on that.
What?
I call bullshit on that. He's being taught things that he never knew about the quarterback position.
Well, that's what's apparently out there. He never knew certain throwing mechanics.
Because I remember it was before he won the MVP that he was working with somebody in the offseason, and it might have been Warren Moon working with him, because I remember there was a lot of talk going on there, or Warren Moon was mentoring him or something. So I don't know if I buy all that. I remember Rick Meyer tried pulling that same crap.
Yeah, I don't know, because that's what I seen from Cam Newton last year. I said Cam Newton's problem isn't it's throwing or nothing. It's a mechanic. So all of his issues last year were mechanical issues. It wasn't nothing like he lost talent. It was just all. I think it was from him being out of football for so long.
I think a lot of it is his footwork.
Yeah, it's all his mechanics and stuff. Like, he throws the ball. When he throws like a quick out, like a 5-yard out, you're supposed to bounce around on your feet. He doesn't do that. He throws the ball. He throws the ball with all his arm. He throws like this with all of his arm, and he has his feet on the ground, flat-footed. He doesn't have. He ain't bouncing around out there like a quarterback should be. All comfortable, but he throws the ball. That's why he has like a chicken wing throw, because it's all arm, no legs or knees or nothing. Hips. You're supposed to throw from your hips or with your hips. And he doesn't do that. He just throws with all arm, and he don't get his feet set, and that's why his accuracy's up and down.
So what you're saying is he's a less accurate Lamar Jackson.
Yes, but I think it's part of that mechanic issue, though. I said that. I said if somebody works with him this offseason on the mechanics, I think he'll do a lot better this year.
That's
what I seen from Cam last year when he was throwing them balls at people's ankles. I watched a lot of film, and that's what I seen. He was doing that. He was actually pretty accurate when he was bouncing around with stuff down the field. That's when he was his most accurate. But on those short, quick Tom Brady throws, that's where his mechanic problem comes in, where he doesn't get his feet set. His feet are on the ground, and that's a problem.
Well, I don't think anybody's gonna. You can't question that Cam has a laser.
Yeah, he definitely. He has an arm, and like I said, he throws the ball good when it's out in front of him and deep down the field.
But maybe he just doesn't have the touch on the ball for the short stuff like Brady did.
I don't think it's that. I think it's a mechanic problem. I really do, because I watched a lot of film on him last year, and I even seen it a little bit in Carolina, but not as much. So I think it's something that came up recent with him getting injured and not playing for 2 years or whatever. I think that's what it is, honestly, because I've seen it in Carolina, but you didn't see it as much. You didn't see it it was almost like every short pass he was throwing. If it was like a read option type play and he had to drop back and just throw it quick, that's when he has a mechanic problem. If he holds the ball for 2 or 3 seconds, he's fine. But it's those quick, like short Tom Brady throws, like the James White, the running back, or you quick throw out to the tight end or something like that. That's when he struggles. Screen passes.
And see, that could be a problem because it seems like that's what they're gearing that offense up to be this year with Hunter Henry and Johnny Smith. It seems like they're trying to build with the 2 tight ends, take the inside of the field away, take the inside of the field back. And that's where Cam struggles getting the ball.
Yeah, that's why I said, I said if you don't work on those mechanics, I said that. If you don't work on those mechanics, it don't matter whose receivers is. If he's skipping the ball 5 yards in front of him at the ground. Now, a lot of that is people said he didn't know the playbook after he got COVID. He forgot some of the plays and shut. They call it COVID brain, I guess, or whatever. But
I don't know.
I know he said when he joined that I Am an Athlete, he went on the podcast and said that with Chad Johnson and Fred Taylor, he said that he said he would snap the ball and he would forget what routes the receivers are running from COVID. He said he would line up and he would say hike, and then he would kind of try to read the defense, but he would forget what routes his receivers are running. And he said that's a lot of the reasons why he's throwing it at their ankles, because he didn't want to throw an interception. But I think a lot of it was mechanical issues.
So he only had 8 passing touchdowns all season last year, right?
Yeah.
And he missed. How many games did he miss for COVID? Did he miss 4 games?
1.
Oh, he only missed 1 game?
But you might as well say he missed 3, because his first 2 games back, he was awful. He was awful. But I think that was from the team couldn't even practice him, though. When Cam had COVID, he obviously wasn't around the team practicing, and they shut down all facilities for the Patriots. They couldn't practice for that whole 2 weeks. I think they said the Patriots had two full practices in the 2 weeks that between Cam missed and the games. So they only had 1 full practice the week they played Kansas City, and then I think they had 1 practice after that for their next 2 games. So in 3 games, they only had 2 full practices. And that's why they didn't do good against San Francisco and Kansas City, because they had no timing or anything. Because actually Cam pre-COVID was averaging 287 total yards a game.
Well, I know he smashed the shit out of Miami on the ground in week 1.
Yeah, but he threw the ball well against Seattle. That was one, like John was saying to me. He was like, that's one of the better throwing games Cam's ever had. He threw for 397 yards that day. And I mean, that was when Julian Edelman was also healthy too. And I think that played a part too, because early in the year, he was going to Edelman a lot, just like Tom Brady would, because that's the guy he trusted. And then Edelman went down right after Cam came back from COVID. And I think after that, it just kind of went all downhill, because their only other legit receiver was Jacoby Myers, and teams just double-teamed him. We had no tight end. James White wasn't himself, so there's no running. I mean, I think that was a lot of it too, is the weapons were horrible.
Well, that's why Brady left, right?
Yeah.
Had terrible weapons up there.
This is what I don't like. People say that Tom Brady in 2019 had the same weapons as Cam Newton in 2020. And that is not true. I said, yes, Tom Brady won 12 games in 2019 his last year. Cam Newton won 7. But if you go look at Tom Brady's receiving core in 2019, Cam Newton's receiving core in 2020, Tom Brady's receiving core I would take 10 times out of 10. Go look at the 2019 receiving core. The Patriots had a healthy Julian Edelman for a full season, 16 games. They traded for Mohamed Sanu, who's better than any Patriot wide receiver right now, or what Cam had last year. They had Josh Gordon for half a season. They had Antonio Brown for, I think, 2 games. They had as bad as it sounds, Ben Watson was better than any tight end we had last year, and Ben Watson was like 38. James White was actually himself. The only really positive for our offense last year was Rex Burkhead, and we don't even have him anymore. He tore his ACL late in the year, and that's really honestly when the offense really fell apart because he was our only guy that actually had a good year, really.
I don't know, man. I have a hard time believing that a lot of that wasn't Tom Brady that previous year. Now, granted, he had Antonio Brown for a couple games, but
Yeah,
I think a lot of that had to do with Brady.
He still had Josh Gordon for half a year, and I would take Josh Gordon over any receiver on the Patriots last year. He still had Mohamed Sanu, who I would take over any Patriot, and Philip Dorsett.
And I think
Philip Dorsett is just as good as Damiere Byrd, who was our number 2 last year, or better.
Mohamed Sanu, he was washed before he went to New England. He went there and he did nothing. You guys got fleeced.
Yeah, but he was better than what we had last year.
Got fleeced for a draft pick.
Sanu wasn't great, but he was better than what we had last year. That's what I'm saying. We had literally 3 wide receivers that were with Tom Brady. Literally had 2 receivers that was better than anybody on the Patriots last year. Plus, he had Edelman for a whole season. We didn't have Edelman for a whole season last year. We only had him for 4. He only started 4 games and played in 6. And Tom Brady also had, like I said, he had Josh Gordon, who's way better than any receiver, and Ben Watson was better than any tight end we had last year.
So we can agree that Bill Belichick is quite the wily veteran.
Yeah.
Right? So what if he knew, like coming into this season, obviously, Tom's going to be gone. And I'm stirring the conspiracy pot here. But it's like, you know what? We got to have a terrible season. We got to get a quarterback. We'll do what we have to do.
Well, like you said.
But so you sign Cam Newton on a flyer. He plays all right. A couple guys sit out because of COVID, scared of getting COVID, whatever. Good for them. And he knew then, because he's the GM as well, so he knew coming into this offseason, he was going to have a truckload of money and probably had a pretty good idea who was going to be out there available. Do you think, he's over there playing chess, not checkers?
I think once all the opt-outs happened, I think that Belichick knew, because he even said before the season started, he's like, we're probably not – he didn't say we're not going to be good this year, but he basically said that the Patriots sold out and won 3 Super Bowls. They don't have any money.
Okay.
They couldn't, people were like, why don't they go sign receivers for Cam Newton? I was like, dude, they literally have 0. They couldn't even sign their rookies until they got some money from Antonio Brown. They got some money from, I guess, from Antonio Brown being on the team. They got some money for that somehow. And they also took away a suspension that happened previous, and they gave the Patriots some money back. So they wind up. That's the only reason why they could even sign their rookies last year, or else they wouldn't have signed their rookies.
So, okay.
What?
So, right, and he knew they were going to have all that money this offseason.
Yeah.
When most teams were scrambling to try and figure out how they're going to pay everybody, who they had to cut, how they're going to kick the can down the road, Bill's sitting there like, hey, I got all this money.
Oh, yeah, I think he knew that, yeah.
So I wonder if he just said, hey, I'm okay with stinking this year. Get me Mac Jones next year.
My thing is, though, I don't think he originally thought that, though, because I don't think he would have. If he really thought they were going to suck, I don't think he would have signed Cam Newton. I think he signed Cam Newton because he thought he knew a veteran is going to be better than a first-year quarterback in Stidham. So I think that's why. I think he signed Cam Newton because he thought they would be more competitive.
I think he signed Cam Newton because he thought Cam Newton was going to stink.
I don't think so.
That's why he only signed him to a 1-year deal.
Yeah, but at that rate, he would have just signed he would have just went with Jarrett Stidham. If he knew they were going to suck, he would just go with Jarrett Stidham.
Oh, Robert Kraft ain't going to let him do that. He's got to please the big. He's got to please the big daddy up there.
He brought in Cam Newton because he thought they would be more competitive, and they probably did win a few more games because of Cam. They probably don't win that first week against you guys if we don't have Cam.
So and that was another thing I want to ask you, because I didn't really watch a whole lot of Patriots games last year other than when they played Miami. So if all that stuff went on and you're looking at this year and you see Cam and you're excited for what Cam's going to do now, right?
Yeah.
But I thought last year, I watched the game with Miami and it seemed like the way they were gearing it up was it seemed like they were building that offense to be a running team, not throwing the ball 30, 40, 50 times a game.
Yeah.
At least early in the season. So when do you think that changed?
See, I think it was still I still think it was that they were trying to run the ball first, but teams just start stacking the box after they figured out after the Patriots by the second quarter they were like, okay, the Patriots are just going to keep running the ball every down. And honestly, this is another thing I said. Josh McDaniels, our offensive coordinator, he did not trust. I don't think he didn't trust Cam Newton. I don't think he trusts the offense in general. So there was play calls that he normally he would call just a slant or something on 3rd and 7. He wasn't even doing that. It was almost like run. Like the only time we honestly passed, if it was like obvious 3rd and 11 or something, and if we did, it was like a short, quick pass or a screen pass or something like that. It wasn't like try to throw it 15 yards downfield. Every once in a while we would do that, but I just thought our offense was too. The playmakers on offense is really what hurt us because I think even McDaniels called a different playbook last year. He didn't call the games the same. And I really think he knew that the offense wasn't going to be good, so he's just like, okay, we can't turn the ball over, so let's just try to move the ball on the ground. Because, even on 4th downs, they were running the ball quarterback draws with Cam Newton on 4th and 3s and 4th and 2s. They weren't throwing the ball.
So sort of in a realistic view on it, when do you think you're going to see Mac Jones start this year if you're so hyped for Cam Newton?
I don't think we're going to. I actually don't think. I actually think there's a possibility we don't see Mac Jones for 2 years. I think Cam Newton.
2 years.
Huh?
For 2 years.
Maybe 3, yeah, 2 or 3, because if Cam Newton balls out this year and let's say that mechanic issue gets fixed and that's the main reason, and let's say Cam has somewhat of towards his MVP season, there's rumors around that they think Belichick could bring Cam back again for a 1 or 2 more year deal. That's what's going on right now too. People are thinking that Belichick's going to bring Cam back. So I think they're going to try this style. I think they're going to try the Lamar style of offense for this year and see how it goes. If it doesn't work, I think they're going to go with Mac Jones next year and go back to the Tom Brady style. If it works and they do well and Cam balls out, I think that's when they might give Cam another year or 2 of extension, because Cam's only 32, so he can still play for another 4 or 5 years at a high level.
See, that's crazy to me that you would draft a quarterback so high and then be willing to sit on him that long.
My thing is that the reason I think they did that is I think Mac Jones is insurance. I think they only drafted Mac Jones because if Cam Newton does suck like last year, they can go to a guy that knows the Tom Brady system and develop him. That's the only reason. That's the only reason I think they brought Mac Jones in. Is because I think if Cam balls out, they're bringing Cam back for at least 1 more year, maybe 2 or 3. That's just what I think.
It just seems. I just
don't see them. I don't see them changing a whole because they're not gonna run the Tom Brady offense. So I don't see them going to a run heavy and Cam Newton style offense and then switching it back to a pocket passer just for 1 year. That's why I say if Cam balls out this year, I could see them just bringing him back for another 2 years or something.
Do you think Cam wants to keep it year to year?
I think eventually he's going to want. Obviously, if he balls out, I think he's going to ask for a little more money. Maybe not a whole lot, because he did say he likes playing in New England, and he likes Belichick and McDaniels. He respects them, but I think he's going to want more money next year for sure if he balls out. And I think he knew this year. I think he knew hey, I didn't have a good year last year. I wasn't going to get big money this year. So he's like, I'll just play where in New England where I already know their system. Give me another chance.
Right.
In this offense, if you really look at it, we got a really good offensive line. All of our offensive linemen are mainly run blockers. Even the guys that are like backups that we got in free agency, they're all like known for run blocking. So I think it's going to be a similar offense to last year. The thing is, I think our receiving core is going to be better, and obviously we'll have two good tight ends now, so that will actually help our offense a lot. Plus, last year, even our tight ends last year, they weren't that great at blocking either. That's another thing. They weren't that great at blocking last year. So we're also going to have upgraded blocking, and we're definitely going to have upgraded receiving and tight ends.
So there you go, guys. I just saw the link come up in the chat. Go ahead, get yourself your Fat Man and the Hawk official merch, brought to you from Lavender's Touch. Cheeto Boy over there should be donning his, but he's all wrapped up in his Cam Newton blankie.
Cam Newton, baby, he's back.
He won't be able to get it back fast enough week 3 when Mac Jones comes in.
Oh, you're going to see week 1. You're going to see Cam Newton run all over that defense.
Yeah. You're probably right.
You're going to see another 70 yards touchdown from Cam Newton on the ground, and he's going to go for 250 in the air.
Hey, or you might see how old is Cam Newton? 33?
32.
Oh, or you might see a 32-year-old quarterback tear his ACL. You don't know.
Well, then Mac Jones will just go in and save the day. He's gonna have some motivation with Tua on the other sideline.
All right, you're on your own a minute. I'll be right back.
Do what?
You're on your own a minute. I'll be right back.
All right. So what you guys up to tonight? Cam Newton's gonna ball out this year. While he's gone, let me do it real quick. It's official. Look, got it on. Look, it's official. Hold on. Can I turn this camera around?
Oh yeah, we got to see the Fat Man and Hawk T-shirt, and Jordan gave everyone a free gun show. Didn't even need your tickets.
Who said you would need your tickets? All right, there we go.
All right. Tell me more. Why I should be shaking in my my panties over here about your New England Patriots.
Because they're going to run through they're going to be a hard team to stop this year. They're going to be a real hard team to stop. Because they're going to look just like the Baltimore Ravens offense. The only difference is the Patriots are going to have two good tight ends and not one. And the Patriots are probably a little better on defense overall than Baltimore.
Ooh.
And the Patriots got Bill Belichick. Nothing against John Harbaugh, but John Harbaugh ain't the GOAT. Bill Belichick is.
But why do you want the Patriots offense to resemble Baltimore so much if Lamar can't throw outside the numbers?
But Cam can. That's the difference. Cam actually can. Cam has a better arm than Lamar Jackson. And Cam can be a pocket passer. I don't think Lamar actually can.
That is true. So our friend Brian wants to know your opinion on, do you think the Patriots will get Julio?
In the Vegas world, it looks like they will because they're the favorites to get him. And I'm hoping that's true. I know Julio's been saying he wants to play with Cam Newton. I will say, Carolina, Cam Newton did have big wide receivers, so that helped. I think that's what helped him too in Carolina with his inaccuracy a little bit. Is he had Devin Funchess and Travis Benjamin and some tall receivers. He had small receivers in New England last year, and he had these big wide receivers in Carolina.
So, Brian, I noticed you have a Titans logo up there. Go ahead and put in the chat there. I'm kind of curious as to what are your thoughts on, the Titans getting Julio. Can they make a move for Julio? How much better would that make that offense? And just so you know, I don't know how long you've seen Fat Man of the Hawk. Don't know if you've seen him around. I fucking hate Ryan Tannehill.
Okay,
But,
so earlier
and the Hawk when he's around, he'll tell you I always hated Tannehill, even when he was a Dolphin. But I could see where I really like Julio is Green Bay.
Yeah.
For obvious reasons, I don't like him in New England.
Oh yeah, you don't want to see him burn Xavier Howard a couple times a year.
Yeah, I don't want to see X get owned.
Yeah, you don't want to see him burn Xavier Howard. You want Xavier Howard to have that best cornerback in the league, but Julio will kind of ruin that for him.
But I think if you gave Tannehill a guy like Julio, man, look out.
I was talking to a Lions guy earlier, and I said they need to try to go after Julio because the Lions don't have anybody at wide receiver. I know he probably doesn't want to go to a shitty team again, but
because and yeah, that's the other thing. Let's be realistic. He wants to go to a winner, right? He wants to go somewhere in win now mode. So, first thought, like imagine him with Herbert over there with the Chargers, man. That'd be.
The reason why I say the Patriots or Raiders the most is because those teams need number one receivers.
Yeah, I mean the Raiders make sense too, but it comes down to I want to win. So Denver's out, Raiders are out.
But the Raiders are that close. The Raiders were actually really close the last 2 years. They were like a 500 team. The Raiders actually started the year out really well the last 2 years. And then they fell apart at the end of the year. But the Raiders were like an 8-8 team the last 2 years. So I think Julio gives you another couple of wins. And if they can just stay consistent like they were at the beginning of the year, they can win like 10 or 11 games.
Hey, Julio can come to the desert. We don't know if Fitzy's coming back.
Julio already he doesn't want to go to Dallas. Nah, I don't think Dallas will go after him anyway.
I think he trashed Dallas. I think it was on Skip and Shannon this morning. Shannon using all his star power, calling up Julio on the phone. We don't have that kind of power around here yet. But if anybody could help us get it, we'd appreciate you.
You know what I would like just for John?
Julio in Seattle?
No, Julio the Arizona.
Well, that's what I just said, out here in the desert.
Yeah, because he'll have to face AJ Green, Julio Jones, and DeAndre Hopkins 2 times a year.
There's no way. Look, if Kyler Murray can't win with that amount of weaponry, you're out, dude.
Yeah.
Take your ass back to Smurf Village.
That's why I said, like, I in my opinion, if Arizona doesn't win a division this year, that's what it's kind of win the division for me. It's for Arizona. It's win the division or bust this year because they got 2 elite pass rushers in Chandler Jones and J.J. Watt. They got maybe the best number 3 wide receiver in the league now in Christian Kirk.
And they drafted Xavier Collins, I think the kid's name was.
Yeah, they drafted him.
And the first thing the kid said was, "I'm going to be a killer. I want to be a killer. Like, we're going to kill out there in the desert." Like, so the kid hyped up to smack some people.
He won Defensive Player of the Year in college football last year. He was considered the best defensive player in college football.
I think it hurts Arizona losing Patrick Peterson, though.
Yeah, but a good pass rush always hides a bad secondary.
Yeah, it's true. That's probably why they brought JJ to town.
Ask the 49ers that.
Hey, how about Julio to the 49ers?
Yeah, me and John were talking about that. John said he thinks that's a good Laney's
You
fun.
get
My only thing
you
is
get Trey Lance in there throwing darts to him. Woo!
yeah, but Lance is inaccurate, man.
Hey, Julio hides inaccuracy with that radius.
I'm telling you, I think Green Bay is the best. If it's an NFC team, I think Green Bay is a team that needs to go after him.
Well, I think that's where everybody like to see him, but that's not a typical Green Bay move.
Yeah.
Hey, does Green Bay trade Jordan Love down there to Atlanta and give Aaron Rodgers a bigger contract and bring Julio in, and it's everybody's happy around the Mulberry Bush? We're throwing touchdowns and winning championships in Green Bay again.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I'm trying to think who else needs a receiver right now. Number one. All right, let's go.
Well, I don't think Green Bay needs it. Like Green Bay has Devontae. I think
Yeah.
Julio would be number 2 in Green Bay.
Yeah. I'm saying, I'm trying to think of who would.
Hey, we'll take him in Miami. I'll take him in Miami.
I was thinking Miami needs a receiver, don't they? I mean, they got Will Fuller, but he's going to be hurt.
He's going to be hurt or he's going to get suspended again.
Yeah, you ain't got really big. I mean, your big
Devontae
body.
Parker.
I guess your big body receiver would be like Devontae Parker.
Yeah, he's inconsistent, man.
Yeah, because your other two good receivers are more deep threat guys, Waddle and Fuller.
Right.
I'll tell you what, though, I thought you guys got the steal with that tight end. That tight end you guys got pretty solid.
Yep. So our friend Parker here is informing us that the Falcons want a first-round pick in exchange for Julio, and the Niners don't have a first-round pick to give them, so I don't see Julio going to the Niners. Yeah, Miami got all them.
They want a first-rounder for Julio?
Apparently. Hey, Braxton's in the house. Our resident Detroit Lions fan, and Dave Clark is coming in to join the party.
I don't see a team giving Julio a first rounder, dude.
Julio Jones can go to any team except for Cincinnati, Pittsburgh, or Baltimore, as long as he don't come to the AFC North.
Hey, what about this trade? Julio Jones for OBJ.
OBJ's not going anywhere, and he's coming off a torn ACL. He's going back in the starting lineup with Cleveland. Period.
You would have won Julio Jones over OBJ? No drama.
OBJ wants to play in Cleveland, and it's already been announced. They said he's going to be in the starting lineup again this year.
Well, according, hey, I'm just saying, Dave, you shouldn't be worried about him going to Baltimore because all the information I've heard coming from that side of the table is Lamar can't throw outside the numbers, so Julio would be no threat in Baltimore. So you don't have to worry about that.
Yeah, I've heard Julio. That's one of the teams that Vegas has as a favorite. It's like New England, the Raiders, Baltimore, the Chargers, the 49ers, and somebody else. I forget who the other team is.
Okay, well, I'll be glad to see when we get our rosters finalized, when they get tweaked after the last preseason game and they go through waivers and they pick up a few guys on waivers and they tweak the roster. And then when you have your final rosters.
How about this? How about Julio on Chicago with Allen Robinson?
Somebody said Julio Jones is injury prone, so I don't know. I don't know where he's going to fit in at.
I don't buy that.
I might have said that. I might have said he's injury prone and old.
Nah, he ain't really. He's been injured a little bit the last couple of years. That's not injury prone. Go look at Odell Beckham. He's more injury prone than AJ Green and Julio Jones. People say AJ Green's injury prone. AJ Green's been in the league longer than Odell Beckham, and Odell Beckham's missed more time than AJ Green. So technically, Odell Beckham would be considered injury prone.
Well, I don't disagree with anything you just said. I think AJ Green, it was a matter of not wanting to play in Cincinnati anymore.
Well, I said that this year. I said he in my opinion, he could get comeback player of the year this year because he's going to take a lot of pressure off DeAndre Hopkins now. Because, I mean, think about it. Larry Fitzgerald was her number 2, and Larry Fitzgerald's older and not as good as AJ Green at this age or whatever. So that's what I'm saying.
Right.
I think AJ's going to be guarded by a lot of number 2 and 3 corners. The attention is going to be on D-Hop.
But Kevin here makes an interesting point about Julio to Denver. So what's the thoughts on that?
I don't think Denver got too many good receivers already. They got Jerry Jeudy. They got another guy, Cortland Sutton. They got KJ Hamler. They got a good tight end. I don't like Denver.
How about a team that needs a wide receiver that has a quarterback that they drafted that needs a weapon?
I'm telling you,
can the Jacksonville Jaguars come up with a trade? Can the New York Jets come up with a trade?
Jacksonville. He ain't gonna want to go to a shitty team, Dave.
Yeah, he wants to go where he's going to win now. I think the Rams make sense.
Yeah, but the Rams' problem is they don't have capital and they don't have money. That's the problem with the Rams. They don't have any draft capital for the next year.
They'll figure it out. They'll figure it out.
I don't see the Rams.
See, I don't think Atlanta. I think they're gonna find that nobody's gonna give them a first round pick. And then the pool's gonna get bigger.
Honestly, I think Green Bay is where that would be in the NFC. My first option would be Green Bay. Second option would be Chicago because I think him and Allen Robinson together would be pretty nasty.
But think about it: with how deep the draft was this year with receivers.
Do what?
Well, how deep the draft was with receivers this year.
Yeah.
How many teams? And last year, there was a bunch of first-round guys last year that played well. How many teams are going to be willing to say, "Hey, here's a first-round pick for a 32-year-old wide receiver that was hurt half of last season"?
That's what I'm saying.
I think they're going to find that they're only going to get a second-round pick.
All right, I want to ask both you guys something. I want to switch gears on this subject a little bit. Which team, either conference, AFC, NFC? You know how if you have dual threat wide receivers, you have top wide receivers on both sides, which means teams are going to have to double cover one of them, but they can't double cover both of them. So one's going to get open. How many teams have three elite top wide receivers that play all three at the same time? And there's no way you can cover all three of them no matter what you run. Two of them are going to be open at all times. Is there a team that has to – is Kansas City one of them? Who's got three top, three elite? You can't cover them. You got to double.
There's no team that has three literally elite receivers. There's like 8.
Hey, Dallas has 3 guys.
If a team could devise something like that, wouldn't they be like an unstoppable force? Meaning 2 of those guys are going to be open like nearly all the time.
Yeah, the thing is, you're saying elite. If you're talking elite, there's only like 10 receivers that are legit elite. If you consider elite's considered like top 10
all right. Then you're not going to get them all on the same team together.
Yeah,
Dave, are you trying to make a play for Julio in Cleveland?
I'm trying to devise a good Madden team or Xbox One team for me.
Oh, dude.
That's you and Dave's imaginary land. Dave over here gets Nick Bosa and Joey Bosa and DeForest Buckner on the same line.
Yep, that's my rookie mode franchise, no cap, make all the moves, bud. You seen how quick you fleeced me the other day in Madden.
It's Khalil Mack at outside linebacker too.
Nope, couldn't get him. Tried. Bears want him too much. Hey, goddamn, Dave, you all right there? That almost made you throw up. Shit.
Well, I don't know how much of Jordan's live you saw. We got Jordan saying that you better say it so I don't word it wrong. I want you to word it. We got Jordan saying that Joshy Boy Allen for the Buffalo Bills because of his championship game against Kansas City.
Yeah, I heard him.
I think Jordan said he's not a franchise quarterback. You tell me what you said.
If you base it on those numbers in the playoffs,
I was roasting him earlier.
That's not a franchise quarterback numbers. It's not
for one game. Yeah, for that game.
But that's the biggest game of the year. A franchise quarterback.
Based on your logic, Jordan, Aaron Rodgers isn't an elite quarterback. Peyton Manning was never an elite quarterback. As those guys lost in the playoffs early in their career. Aaron Rodgers still can't win a fucking NFC championship.
But Aaron Rodgers played good. It's not like Aaron Rodgers lost the game. He played.
Jordan, you you got to
Josh Allen is
clarify.
the reason they lost the game. Josh Allen played awful. That's
You
the
got
difference.
to clarify that to us, but that doesn't mean that franchise isn't going to go on with Josh Allen as a starting quarterback.
I just don't think the kid's a franchise quarterback. If you base it on those playoff numbers, he's not a franchise quarterback.
Okay,
Quarterback.
Okay, fine, Jordan. That is your opinion, but you're going to have to make it strong, to give you a strong opinion, to make your opinion stronger and more solid. You're going to have to back it up with some facts to support it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Until you provide us with facts to support your opinion. Your opinion's weak to most of us.
Dave, he just can't own up to the fact now that finally, after 30 years in the AFC East, we're going to have the equivalent to Kelly Marino again with Tua Allen.
No, listen.
All right. I said my piece.
Josh Allen in playoff games. Franchise quarterbacks, their numbers don't regress in playoff games. Their numbers stay about the same. They don't drop by 100 yards and a touchdown in playoff games. That's a franchise.
Hey, what happens to Aaron Rodgers' numbers when he's losing?
I couldn't get my Buffalo Bills members in here. I tried to get my Bills members in here.
Where's Ray Francis? I've seen him beating his chest last season.
Go look at Aaron Rodgers' numbers in the playoffs. They're still really good numbers. Yes, he doesn't win all the time, but he still has
I didn't say playoffs.
Numbers.
I said when he's behind.
He still has good numbers. Josh Allen's numbers are terrible.
What about Dak Prescott's numbers when he's behind?
I'm going to throw something at you guys, okay?
Listen, Dave.
I have listened. And if we could redo the 2018 draft over again, I'd have drafted Josh Allen 1 before Mayfield.
There! No, you wouldn't have. I would have took Lamar Jackson over all of them.
Hey, that's a mic drop, Jordan. That's a mic drop right there.
I'm just telling you, Josh Allen is not a franchise quarterback. I'm telling you right now. Go franchise quarterbacks. Their numbers do not drop in the playoffs. That bad.
Hey, they can't be Tom Brady.
They don't average 300 yards in the regular season, average 200 in the playoffs.
Mayfield's numbers in the playoffs wasn't spectacular either. Even that win against Pittsburgh, I mean, it was okay, but
I just think it's funny how everybody forgets that Peyton Manning in the playoffs was terrible. Everybody remembers him getting the Super Bowl winning, but he had his first few years. He was terrible when he gets in the playoffs.
Jordan, that's your opinion. And again, I must repeat myself.
Everybody gets beat by Tom Brady.
Until you support that opinion with facts, your opinion is not very strong.
I got the facts. Go look at the stats in the playoff games. I'll pull them up right now for you.
I remember Peyton Manning having the
that doesn't make him a non-franchise quarterback.
A franchise quarterback wins big games. That's what a franchise quarterback is. You win big games. Your numbers don't go from 300 yards to 200 yards in the playoffs because it's a playoff game. You still
Trent Dilfer won a Super Bowl. He wasn't a franchise quarterback, and I've already told you this. Brad Johnson won a Super Bowl. He's not a franchise quarterback.
But the defense won the Super Bowl.
Eli Manning. Are we going to debate that Eli Manning was a top elite franchise quarterback?
He was a franchise quarterback.
We're not going to debate that he was an elite, but we are going to debate that he was a franchise quarterback.
Yeah,
then I can't see why Josh Allen can't be a franchise quarterback. What type of franchise quarterback are you trying to categorize Josh Allen as?
Franchise quarterbacks' numbers don't go downhill like that. That's all I'm saying. Like if you're a franchise quarterback, your numbers aren't as like Josh Allen. Go look at his numbers versus winning teams and not winning teams, and it's a different quarterback.
All right.
That's all I'm saying is you got two different quarterbacks when Josh Allen's playing. If he's playing a good team, he lights the scoreboard up. It's just like most quarterbacks. If you're playing a bad team, you're going to put up great numbers. But when the big games, when they have to play good playoff teams, he doesn't do well.
All right. Well, listen, Dave's got about another 12 minutes, and he's got to go to work. So out of respect for Dave, I'm going to hop off here. If you guys want to,
we're enjoying having you in here, Dave. You're getting us, going, stirring the shit pot. We like it because I think Josh Allen's elite. I think I think he's going to be a top 5 quarterback. Hey, Dave, where's your Fat Man in a Hawk shirt, man?
Okay, here's a question for
I
you.
don't know if you got a size big enough for me.
Hey, here's
bud.
a question for you real quick.
How do you think I got mine?
Was Josh Allen? Did you think about Josh Allen before this past season? Answer that question.
I anticipated Josh Allen to develop into a good quarterback that can start. That is a start. He's a starter. Period. Now,
before the season.
Now, how do we want to split hairs and pull this apart? He's a starter, but he's not a franchise quarterback. He's not a How many categories are we going to split this into? He is definitely a starter. We can't argue that. He is a starter.
Yeah, there's a lot of starters, but
okay. So we got that much agreed on.
Yeah, he's not worse than like Case Keenum or something. I'm not saying he's that.
Yeah,
Case Keenum's not a starter. Case Keenum's a backup.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. He's better than backups, is what I'm saying. He's worth a starting job. I'm not saying that.
All right.
I'm just saying I don't think he's a top 5, top 7 quarterback like everybody's saying he is, because top 5 quarterbacks, elite quarterbacks, their numbers don't decline in the playoffs.
Okay.
Like
now, whoa. Let me say something, Dave. Now that we're getting some clarification on your opinion, Josh Allen is not a top 5 quarterback. Now we're getting somewhere. But when you say he's not a franchise quarterback, there's a big disagreement there. Now you're taking it somewhere that I can start to see a little more of this. Okay. Now we can debate. He's not a top 5 quarterback.
Well, franchise quarterback is somebody that wins Super Bowls.
Dan Marino wasn't a franchise quarterback?
Dan
Marino wasn't an elite quarterback?
Bernie Kosar
Dan Marino wasn't a franchise quarterback? He got a donut when it comes to Super Bowls.
Okay, but he also played on bad football teams. Josh Allen's played on good football teams. There's a difference.
I don't know about that.
Josh Allen's been to the playoffs the last 2 years, and his numbers are not great. Even in the games they won, even in the game against Baltimore that they won, his numbers were awful.
I got a question.
That's why. Hey,
hold on. I got an honest question.
Okay.
Is Russell Wilson a top 5 quarterback?
Yes.
Okay. You realize Russell Wilson's first couple years in Seattle, he was terrible. It was the team that carried him to that first
the defense was really good, but he developed.
So why are we trashing Josh Allen already?
Because Josh Allen's played in the playoffs and he's had to carry the team and he can't do it. That's my point.
Hey, you know what
Josh
else?
Allen doesn't have
Legion of Boom defense. You know what else?
But you just said Josh Allen has a good team.
Hey,
he does have a good team.
Look at
he doesn't have to carry him.
Look at the offense Josh Allen is in. How often do they run the ball? They don't run that often. They pass every fucking down. He can't be. Hey, he can't be throwing the ball 55 times a game. You give Josh Allen an adequate running game to compensate and to compromise and mix the plays well and start and run that style of offense and see how effective. I guarantee you bring Josh Allen in the Cleveland's offense today and let's trade. Let's trade Mayfield for Josh Allen. And find out
win you a game.
And find out where Cleveland goes in the playoffs.
If you put Josh Allen in there
right now, buddy, I'll take Josh Allen in Cleveland.
If you put Josh Allen in Cleveland, Odell Beckham Jr. is leading the league in receiving yards and touchdowns.
You guys are crazy.
Right now.
No. I'm telling you,
because Odell Beckham has never had a Josh Allen.
When I come on this podcast about week 15 or so, you guys are gonna be disappointed about Josh Allen this year. That I told you guys he's a 1-year quarterback. There's a lot of quarterbacks that have 1 year.
Jordan, I don't have a problem with you as long as you save your lives like you have been. I'm not saying you didn't. When you finish your live, you hit save and you share it in the group. And to let you know, when you go on the record and you say what you say, I'm telling you up front, I screen record. When I catch you saying something, not just you, anybody, I catch something, I want to see how it ages. I will screen record it. And if it don't age well, 6, 7, 8, 9 months from now,
it's going to
I post that screen recording of your live.
Hey, I hope you got the snap.
Just so you know up front, Jordan, okay? You say anything you want.
I know.
All right.
I'm
I
telling
hope
you,
you
dude,
got the snip of me comparing Trevor Lawrence to Ryan Leaf.
Yeah, Rich, screen record that. You think?
Don't worry, Dave. If you don't have it, I do. It's over there on YouTube.
Yeah, he's already said it about 6 times anyway.
I stand by it. Every pig rolls in his shit once in a while.
I can't wait till the season starts. Dave's going to come on here, and Trevor Lawrence is going to start throwing 3 interceptions. He's going to be like, "I told you guys so."
Nah, I'll give him some time.
I never said Trevor Lawrence was going to be what he's hyped up to be. I'd be gathering opinions. I mean, he might bust out. I don't know.
That's been me trashing him. Hey, his first touchdown to Tebow.
I don't judge quarterbacks that never played it down in the NFL until that you don't know what they're going to be. They might be great. They might be
You
bad.
kidding me? You've been out here spouting this Mac Jones nonsense for 3 weeks now.
No, I already said Cam Newton's going to start.
I had to goat you into it with your Cam Newton lovery over there.
No, I already told you that Cam Newton's going to start this year. I told you Cam Newton might start next year.
All right. So outside of your offense, Jordan, what do you think your defense is going to do over there in Patriot Land?
Yeah,
is
Jordan.
Miami going to torch him?
Yeah, Jordan. What's the defense going to do?
Wait, say that again. Who? Do you say Miami? No.
Hey, take the Cheetos out of your ear. How's your Patriots defense going to be this year?
Miami didn't even torch us last year with a bad defense.
Yeah, see.
But they only scored 17 against us both times or something.
Tua's gonna have a sophomore season like Big Ben.
I hope Josh Allen lights it up. You stay with your opinion, Jordan.
I can't wait until the Steelers.
I can't wait to screen record you and post it, man.
Oh, I can't wait until he's laying on the ground week 1 when TJ Watt sacks his ass about 3 times.
That is yet to be seen.
I'm just telling you, I think the guy's a 1-year wonder.
Who, Josh Allen?
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
I'm telling you, dude. You don't just come out of the blue and wake up and have one good year like that. After you had 2 awful years.
Okay. Whoa, stop right there, both of you. Let me intercede for a minute. If Josh Allen is what you're saying, then Mayfield don't belong anywhere in there either. Cleveland needs to get a new quarterback after his 5th-year option.
The difference is
that's the way it is.
Baker's,
you can put Mayfield in with Allen too. Then
Baker's been consistent. Josh Allen hasn't. Baker's had, for the most part, 2.5 of his 3 years has been consistent. Josh Allen had 1 good year and 2 bad years.
You put Mayfield in Buffalo's offense and expect Mayfield to throw all the time with no runs and see how he does. And you put Josh Allen in Cleveland's offense right now, I would feel so much better going up against Kansas City at Kansas City week 1 with Josh Allen. I would.
I'm telling you, you guys are going to be disappointed on Josh.
All right. Only time will tell. So we'll have to let this age.
Hey, this is what's going to happen. People are going to be disappointed with Josh Allen and Matthew Stafford this year.
Matthew Stafford?
Get that crystal ball going.
The Rams aren't making the playoffs because of Matthew Stafford. He's a downgrade. I watched some film now. He's actually a downgrade on Jared Goff.
Uh-oh. Are we going to get a special Jordan live later this week of Matthew Stafford film study?
I already been watching some film on Stafford. I don't like him at all.
Are we gonna do a live on it, and you can point out Matthew Stafford's floppiness?
Yep, I could do it.
That sounds fantastic. We'll work that out when we're done here.
He's Dak Prescott 2.0. Yes.
Hey,
he has good stats, but it's in all the garbage time.
Hey, we'll work out that film study session when we're done here.
Oh, yeah, for sure. And I'll do that film study on Josh Allen's playoff games too, and show you that he's not a franchise.
Oh, you are such a hater.
I'm just stating the fact.
You're jealous the Patriots don't have a quarterback like Josh Allen.
Like that. Like,
Dave,
yes,
right now, Dave, right now, you taking Josh Allen over Baker Mayfield?
I would, yeah.
Okay, so let's do
Yeah.
this.
Hey, I'm taking.
Hey, I'm not biased about the quarterback for my team, and it don't make me less of a Browns fan.
So would
But
you
I tell
take?
you what, when I see somebody with some tangibles, I know Josh Allen would exceed in our offense in Cleveland. I know damn good and well.
Okay, so would you take Josh Allen or Lamar Jackson?
Oh, Josh Allen.
Okay.
Look, Jordan, let me clarify this for the record, for Dave and everybody, and for these groups. Lamar Jackson, I do not prefer his. I don't like his. It's a matter of preference. I don't like his style of play or the style of offense. He can't read a defense. He can't make throws out the numbers. Yes, he's exciting to watch. He's athletic. He can make plays with his legs. He can outrun the defense. He can light up the score. He can do all these things. He's not going to get you to a Super Bowl. It's not happening. Not with the quarterbacks we've had that have won Super Bowls in the past. No, it's not happening. I don't prefer. I don't like his style of play. It's gimmicky. It's gimmicky. And look, Michael Vick. I went all in on Michael Vick when he first came in the league and lit it up. I said, "Oh, this is what you do. This is the way to go." That lasts for so long. It don't get a team to where you want to go. Mike Vick made what? One NFC championship game? That doesn't mean Mike Vick was a bad quarterback. That doesn't mean Lamar Jackson's a bad quarterback.
The difference.
Their style of play is not going to get your team to hoist up that Lombardi trophy that, it looks like a picture to me, okay? Because my team's never got one. That's not going to get you what you're striving for. Go ahead.
So the difference for me between Michael Vick and Lamar Jackson, I think Lamar Jackson's a better quarterback. Lamar Jackson's a better quarterback than Michael Vick. Michael Vick does have a huge arm, but Michael Vick never completed over 62 or 63% of his throws. Lamar Jackson has had under a season that. So Lamar Jackson's a better quarterback than Michael Vick.
So I would take Josh Allen in a heartbeat in Miami.
Okay.
I got him in Cleveland.
And I think you're lying to yourself if you wouldn't take Josh Allen in New England.
Well, yeah, over Cam and all the AFC East quarterbacks, yeah, I would.
So I bet you there's probably.
But I'll tell you the quarterbacks I wouldn't take them.
There's probably 25 teams that would take Josh Allen as their starting quarterback over who they have on the roster right now.
Okay, so I'll go through the obstacle for you. Who I would take. We'll start with the AFC North. I would take Josh Allen over Baker. I would take Josh Allen over Big Ben. I wouldn't take Josh Allen over Joe Burrow. I wouldn't take him over Lamar Jackson. Let's see. AFC South.
It'd probably be easier just to tell me who you wouldn't take him over.
I would take him over Carson Wentz. I would take him over Trevor Lawrence. I wouldn't take him over Deshaun Watson. Let's see. Who else is in that division? Tannehill. I would take him over Tannehill. NFC West. I ain't taking him over Patrick Mahomes. I ain't taking him over Justin Herbert. I ain't taking him over Derek Carr. Who else is? Drew Lock. I take him over Drew Lock and Teddy Bridgewater. All right, NFC. And I take him over everybody in our division. And then NFC, I ain't taking him over Rodgers. I'd take him over Dalton. Oh, Kirk Cousins. I'd take him over Kirk. Who else? Jared Goff. I'd take him over Jared Goff. And then NFC South, I wouldn't take him over Matt Ryan. I wouldn't take him over Tom Brady. I'd take him over Darnold. And I would take him over Jameis. Then NFC West, I wouldn't take him over Russ. I wouldn't take him over Kyler. I'd take him over Stafford. And I wouldn't take him over Jimmy G.
But you put Josh Allen on that Cardinals offense with those receivers, look the hell out.
And let's see who else. What division? Oh, NFC East. I would take him over Jalen Hurts.
Nobody would stop him on the Cardinals.
So, how many quarterbacks I got? I got NFC. I got Rodgers, Matt Ryan, Tom Brady,
Yeah, so you still have Josh Allen in your top 10.
Dak Prescott.
You're taking Dak over him?
Yeah, Dak's a
Wow.
top 7 quarterback in my opinion.
Wow, you lose credibility with me by the second.
Kyler and Russ. So that's 6 quarterbacks in the NFC I would take over him.
And then who you got in the AFC? Patrick Mahomes, Justin Herbert, Joe Burrow.
Derek Carr, Joe Burrow, and Lamar. So I got 11 quarterbacks. So Josh Allen's my 12th quarterback.
Wow. I don't know. I put him higher than that.
And I'm not even talking about if Trevor Lawrence pans out to be good, Zach Wilson pans out to be good. Some of these other guys, Justin Fields, Trey Lance, if he hits his ceiling.
I don't know, man.
And honestly, if you're talking to if Big Ben wasn't old, I'd probably take Big Ben over him if Big Ben wasn't on the back half of his career.
Nah, so Jordan, you're just a Josh Allen hater. That's all.
I just don't think he's that good. I think he's a little above average as a quarterback.
You just wait till I get Bills fans in here going after you, man. I get the shit pot stirred, buddy.
And bring them in. I don't care.
We'll get this war zone going, bud.
And I'll state them the playoff facts. That's all I got to bring up is the playoff facts. Go look at Josh Allen's playoff numbers. They're not a franchise quarterback.
So
Josh Allen is a franchise quarterback because you changed you clarified and told us that he's not a top 5 quarterback.
He's not even top 10. I just went through the list. He's 12.
He's in your top 15.
Yeah, see, that's what I said. He's above average. I said he's
he's a franchise quarterback.
Average would be 16th. If you're dead in the middle, that's 16th. So I said he's slightly above average.
So here our friend Mike says Baker Mayfield is better than Josh Allen, and he also says Lamar Jackson is better than Josh Allen.
I would take I'm taking Lamar. I'm not a big Lamar fan, but I would take Lamar over him. I'm telling you. If I would do the draft all over again, I would
established, duly noted. We got time for one more question, and then the Fat Man's got to go get ready. Go pay the bills.
Jordan, thanks for going live. Dave, thanks for going live. I'm going to
one more question, Dave. One more question. Stick around for this last question because we know what Jordan thinks. We don't know what you think. Haven't got to my thoughts.
But let me type my little thing before you log off, though.
All right, you'll have time. All right, so Braxton here wants to know who we think is better, Goff or Matthew Stafford. So, Jordan, you kind of alluded to it a little bit before.
Yep.
You are on the side of Jared Goff, correct?
Yep, he's a better quarterback.
Fair enough.
Yep.
Dave, who are you taking in that situation?
Do I have to take one or can I call a toss-up? I say it's a draw. They're both even Steven, but do I have to pick one? I don't have to pick one, and I say they're both even across. I say they're even across. Honestly.
Come on. You got to pick all right. Okay, so you're neutral.
I got to give the edge to one.
No, you're Switzerland. It's okay because now it's going to be me and Jordan's job to convince you to our side of the fence. I'm a Stafford guy. So, Jordan, you go ahead and you tell him why you like Goff better. I'll go ahead and tell him why I like Stafford better. And then we'll convince Dave. And that'll be the majority decision.
So, Jared Goff has been in the NFL for, 4 years now? He's never had a losing season. Yes, he played on a better team than Matthew Stafford. Yes. But he's never had a losing team. Matthew Stafford in 12 years in the NFL has only had over a 500 record 2 times, and he's the most garbage stat quarterback in the NFL. He has like 4,000 yards 8 times or whatever, but a lot of that is garbage time, and he just throws the ball up to Calvin Johnson for half of those yards.
All right, my turn?
Anybody can throw the ball up to Calvin Johnson.
All right, my turn?
Yep.
Anybody can throw the ball to Randy Moss, too, over there. Fuck Tom Brady.
And Jared Goff don't have Randy Moss, buddy. He has little slot receivers that are fast, like Robert Woods and Brandon Cooks and Cooper Kupp. There's no Calvin Johnson on the Rams.
All right. So here we go. Here's my argument for Stafford. Are you ready?
He's never won a division.
So his entire season was spent in shitty-ass Detroit. For the pure and simple fact that he got those Lions to the playoffs says a lot about Matthew Stafford. Out there throwing a touchdown with a separated shoulder. He's that throwback tough guy, not that California pretty boy. He's the blue-collar guy quarterback. The other part is, yeah, he got a bunch of those yards thrown out there to Calvin Johnson. But why did he throw it out there to Calvin Johnson? He didn't have anybody else. He never had a running back. It was the same thing Barry Sanders. It was the same thing Barry Sanders cried about his entire career. There's no offensive line in Detroit. I guess they went ahead and they signed their center Frank Ragnow to big money. They think they're going to give Goff a shot. But to pin all those losing seasons on Goff in Detroit is insane. Yeah, they had a good defense a couple years with Fairley and Sue, and they were getting after it, and that was when they were making the playoffs.
Okay.
But look at all the yards that Stafford puts up. Now you put him on a good team with a good defense, with a running back and quick little slot receivers that he can dink and dunk and pick apart all day, and then hit you for a shot over the top. Just the thought of Matthew Stafford running that deep offense has me wanting a Twinkie right now.
Here's my thing. What are you gonna do when Jared Goff and Matthew Stafford at the end of this year? They're gonna have the same exact numbers. What are you gonna say? What if Goff and Stafford have the same exact numbers, similar numbers this year?
They're not.
What if they do though? Then you can't say Stafford's a better quarterback.
Well, then I'll have to go to the position of neutral. But right now, I think Stafford's a better quarterback. Stafford's the kind of quarterback I like. That tough guy, separated shoulder, out there still throwing a touchdown pass because he wants to win the game.
If Jared Goff plays just as good as Stafford, he proves he's the better quarterback. Jared Goff isn't going to have receivers. Like, who is Jared Goff's wide receivers? I couldn't even tell you.
That's the problem with going to Detroit. So now we're going to see we haven't even swapped. We haven't even swapped. We have Jared Goff dealing with the same shitty situation in Detroit that Matthew Stafford was.
Okay. I give Stafford the edge. Now I got one more question before Dave logs off, and let me get out of here and type my comment. There has not been an Ohio State quarterback that has been drafted that has excelled as at the professional level. They've all, been bust. Now, is Justin Fields going to be the first Ohio State quarterback to excel and become a franchise top 15 quarterback, a franchise starting quarterback? Yes or no? Justin Fields. Dave, Justin Fields. Yes or no?
Chicago sure hopes so, don't they? I do like what I've seen. He looks like he has a little bit of a chip on his shoulder, but
Justin Fields also beats Trevor Lawrence and everything. So if Trevor Lawrence,
that is true,
because people forget this. Justin Fields was the number one high school quarterback because he beat Trevor Lawrence in a QB 11 elite camp, and he just beat Trevor Lawrence in the college football playoffs this past year.
Dave, anything else for me? I'm gonna let you. I'm gonna make my comment. Let you go to work. I'm not gonna hold you up anymore.
Yeah, you can go ahead and click off, Dave.
Thanks for coming on.
Give you time to type everything in. I'll sit here and entertain with Cheeto Boy for a couple more minutes, and
hey, we'll see how they age.
Hey, that's all right. That's the whole point.
I love going screen recorder. I love screen recording.
Hey, Colin Cowherd is right. 2% of the time, and they still pay him a shitload of money to get on TV and talk. So where's my paycheck?
He'll start deleting that. He'll delete them screen records.
Yeah, right. I don't know. All right, Cheeto Boy. I got to go to work.
Yeah. Did you end the live?
So I didn't end it yet.
Okay.
We're going to give Dave time to type his stuff in. I'm watching it here on my other screen. That's why a lot of times I'm looking off on the side here because I am checking out the other screen. As soon as I see that pop up, we'll blast out. I'm posting the link for T-shirts one more time in the Warzone group. You guys can head on over there. I don't know why it didn't come up that time. There it goes. You guys can head on over there and get your Fat Man and Hawk T-shirts.
Yeah,
I was talking to our designer earlier asking about hats, and they said it is completely doable. So that may be coming out in the next couple of weeks. I was kind of looking into some things before I go ahead and get them made. So let's see how the shirts do. Make sure you guys get in there and get yourselves a shirt. We're also going to try to make a fuck Tom Brady shirt.
You also need to get a website.
Oh, who to what?
I said you also need to get a website.
Yeah, we're going to work on that. We're working on that.
Yeah.
One piece at a time, bud. One piece at a time.
In about 2 weeks, we'll have the Madden franchise going fantasy draft as well. So check that out.
So there you go. Jordan and John are going to get the Madden franchise going. If you guys saw it on the Fat Man and Hawk group the other day, Jordan waxed my ass pretty hard at Madden. Still stings a little bit. I immediately had to turn around and play Castlevania and beat Castlevania 1 for the first time. Been trying for 35 goddamn years to beat that game. Finally did it.
Granted, you were high off your ass too.
Hey. Anyhow, make sure you guys head on over to YouTube, search us out, Fat Man and the Hawk. You'll see the Cheeto Boy there.
Yep.
As always, find us on Facebook, Fat Man and the Hawk.
YouTube, obviously.
Yep, YouTube. Make sure you comment, like, subscribe. Go ahead, hit Cheeto Boy up. I ain't got nothing else, Cheeto Boy. I sat here and listened to you talk about your Patriots for a good hour.
Yeah.
You still haven't convinced me why they're going to win the AFC East, but I could be a little bit biased.
Maybe I'll convince you one day. Maybe I'll convince you after week 1.
Hey, maybe after they beat the brakes off Miami week 1.
Maybe after it's 34-7 week 1, we'll be like, hey, is that convincing you?
There you go. Maybe they'll drop a 50 burger the first week.
50.
All right, guys.
Yeah.
Signing off. I'm the Fat Man. We'll catch you guys Sunday.
And I'm Cheeto Boy. Peace out. Subscribe.